Good morning, friends. We got lots and lots of fun little things we're going to be creating today. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you are safe from all the storms. I've seen Alabama had tornadoes, and I know the Northeast had a bunch of storms, snowstorms, ice storms, and so forth. And I understand there's another one on the way. So please be safe. If you do not have to go out, stay indoors, stay warm, stay safe. Make a hot cup of cocoa and sit back and watch it snow. I wish I could do that, but all we got out of this was rain and cold. It did not get out of the 30s the last 2 days, and it's been so cold and wet. But we're alive. We have the Lord with us. It is a beautiful day, and we can be thankful that He has granted us another day, and we are going to get to creating. I'm going to pull you up on my iPad real quick. If I could find us. Let's see, where we at? Here we are. Whoop, now we went. Sometimes my iPad has a mind of its own. Does your iPad ever do that? There we go. Gotcha. We're going to be working with different surfaces today. This is a plain little 5x5 pine block from Michaels. We're going to use that. Now we're going to recycle, upcycle, or repurpose items. This came from Hobby Lobby. It had a little bow tied on it, but I untied that already. The sticker was back, or not the sticker, the logo was back here, so I sanded that off. It had words on the front in white. I sanded that off, and we're gonna fix that up to make it look pretty. I'm leaving the jute on there. This was a block that looked like this. It had bunches of stickers on that side, and it said no bump, but so pumped, we're adopting. When I tried to sand that off, I realized that that was just a piece of paper on here, so it took me a while to get that paper completely off, and now that's what it looks like, and the glue. So we're going to work with that, but that's what that looked like. And that's what we have now, and we're going to see what it's going to look like when we get done. But let's get started here. We're going to use 2 different stencils and a bunch of the tulip transfers. This is going to be a tulip scene, and these are the timeless tulips. This is the spring collection. They are absolutely amazing. We're going to use an oldie but goodie that is Spring is Here tag. We're going to use the word spring out of this one. And we are going to use out of the new spring set, the Mayflower. We're going to use the watering can out of that one. Excuse me. Let's get these prepped here. I'm going to untie this. And we will get these surfaces prepped. I have pulled just regular white, warm white. Zinc, a dark gray, slate gray, a light gray, and I've also pulled Blue Haven. I might give it a little blue hue, and then to put greenery on the bottom, I've pulled celery green. But let's start with our white first. We're going to put white on here, because all of these are going to be coordinating. Nope, white is going to go on here. I think I'm going to do this one in the white and gray. So let's prep our surfaces real quick. I am looking for a brush. There we go. I'm just going to use this one. Glad you guys could hop on this morning. Let's do this one first. Sometimes I wet my brush, sometimes I wet the surface. The moisture makes the paint go on smoother. But if you do that, you're gonna have to make sure that you dry your project really, really well, because that moisture does seep into your wood. And if you're using transfers, you're gonna have to make sure that your surface is dry It is free of oils, waxes, even oils from your hands. I know you hear me say it over and over and over again, but for those that are new to stenciling and transfers, it is always good to go over all those things. I am going to go ahead and do white all the way around. I'm not sure what we do on the other side, so I am not trying to get any paint on the other side. So we're just going to do this side. And have you guys, and for those of you that might be new and don't know, seen the new excuse me, the new Easter stencils and transfers? If you love transfers, oh my goodness, there are so many in there. And they have cutesy ones with the little bunnies, and they have faith-based transfers in there that are amazing, a bunch of crosses that are just absolutely awesome. I am going to dry this a little bit, and then I put another coat on and do the other two sides. They have faith-based and Easter, like bunny kind stencils that are really amazing combined with the transfers. So if you have not seen them, they are live in the app and on the side. Excuse me. They have two bundles, a stencil bundle and a transfer bundle that are reduced in price, so you'll save right there. You can use my code WK21 and save an additional 10%. And you can buy everything single if you don't need the whole bundles. And you can still use my code. So make sure that you check that out. And they are all ready to ship. They are all available. So check them out. Make sure this is dry back over that one more time since I add a little bit more paint. They are in stock and shipping out, and I've heard from several that they ordered that morning and by lunchtime they were already shipped out. So some of those will go fast, so make sure that you get in on this awesome set of stencils and transfers. Mine should be coming soon. Then I can show you all the goodies in there. I've had to reposition my hand. It's easier for me to hold it this way and put the paint on this way. And tell me, even if you're watching on replay, which one is your favorite? One of my favorites are the words, because you can wear those 20 words in the pack, and they are the 1 inch or 2 inch words. I think it's 2 inches for the stencil itself, and then the words are a little bit smaller, of course. But they are perfect. It has like rejoice, hallelujah, God, Jesus. Oh my goodness, I can't even remember. Faith, hope, love, just all the amazing words in there. And then, of course, I love the crosses. They are just awesome. And there is a little church in one of the transfers, and it is just beautiful. Reminds me of a little white church in the mountains, like a little country church, either in the country or in the mountains. Hey, Miss Bonnie, thank you for sprinkling. You are so amazing. How is your weather Did you get any of those tornadoes and thunderstorms? I know it hit Alabama. I have not heard how bad, but I've just seen a tidbit that it hit Alabama. I've added a little bit more. And I'm leaving it like that. I like that look, so I'm leaving that. On this one, I'm leaving the gray on the top. And I'm just adding a little bit of white. I'm just making it look rustic. And all I'm doing is I'm just putting a little bit of paint on the edge of my brush. And then I just put a little bit more paint on the edge. And I'm going through like this. Just gave it a little bit of distressing detail. This one I'm going to do in the dark gray with a little white over top, I think. Oh, no, let's do this gray and see. I'm still leaving my white on here. And again, this is an upcycled, recycled, repurposed block. Originally came from Hobby Lobby. And I'll show you in just a second. I just wanted to show you some upcycled items, what you can do. And I'm just going right to the edge. Now I have way too much paint on here. So I'm going to take this paint and I'm going to just put it to the side of my plate. It matches pretty good. What you guys think? That's a pretty good match, isn't it? You had thunderstorms. I'm just glad that you're safe. So this block started out like this. And now it looks like this. Dry this up. I just want you to see how we can upcycle things. in an easy way. So if you find something on a yard sale, if you find it on sale, clearance, let us knock my stencils over. I mean my brushes, not my stencils. And I am going to add a little bit of, let's see, oop, that one is not dry at all. I'm going to add a little bit of the gray in that one so that they'll match. I don't like that this got so dark. So I'm picking up a little bit of my white. So we gave it a little bit of character to blend in with the other two. I'm gonna get a wipe out real quick. We're also going to use a little bit of the crackle paste. We will add that at the end to one of them, just to give it a little bit of extra. And we might distress. So we'll just have to stay tuned and see what we all do. You know, I like distressing, but I am going to have to dry these really good, so. And again, thank you for sprinkling. I appreciate that so much. Oh, I wanted to put a little bit of white on the back side. I have to get my brush back out and dry it off so I can add that. My glue gun just went flying. Don't know what it is today, but things are falling. Does Velcro sleep through thunderstorms, or does he get anxious? Alright, let's see if I can recover. Excuse me for just a second. There we go. Me recovered. Alright, let me get the brush back out because I was going to add a little bit of white to the back side of that board. Yeah, things just go crash, boom, bang today. I feel like Melissa Miller. It's entertaining today. It's entertaining. You never know what you get with me, that's for sure. I wanted to add a little bit more white back in where I sanded that off. I'm just dipping the edge in paint. Trying to go up as far as I can on the jute, because that is stapled in and I did not want to take that apart. And then we'll sand some of this back. He is a true dog. Ours don't mind the thunderstorms either, now that they're older. And I might come in with the gray and add a little bit more gray, but the back side is not that important right now. We are going to work on the front. I am going to sand this one back. I always like to sand off to the side. Give everything a light sanding. Let's start with this one first. I'm going to push the jute down as far as I can. We are going to use the word spring. He is a good boy, and he loves his mama so much. I'm going to use white for the word spring. I am going to use one of the dome brushes, which I cleaned finally. This is going to be a little tricky because I still have that jute and I cannot, the stencil is bigger, so I cannot lay it down. So I'm going to have to hold it in place the best I can. I'm loading my brush. Offloading. I am going to have to do 2 coats so that white will show up. And we might distress all of these just a little bit. With a little bit of antiquing wax. Go ahead and dry this. Go ahead and add our flowers to this. And it is very faint on here, and I'm okay with that. I am totally okay. I'm going to move our jute back up. Excuse me. On this one, I cut out these 3 tulips. And we're going to add them to the bottom. This is going to be so pretty. Simple little shelf sitters, tier trade items, things you can just tug in on your bookcase. Miss Bunny, have you heard from Miss Judy? How is she doing with the snow? Are they doing good? I'm going to peel it up from the bottom up. And since we sanded and dried our surface really good, we should not have any issues getting this up. I'm trying not to decapitate the tulips on the top, because they went a little bit under the jute, which is fine. I just don't want to pull this off too soon and have our tulips decapitated. That looks good just like by itself, but I wanted to add the other two colors on here. I think I'm going to add the white one on this side and the changed my mind. And I'm putting the stems all the way to the bottom, so I might not even have to add grass to this. It can just sit just the way it is without adding grass. But you can add extra grass if you want to. And yes, you can put transfers over top of each other. Have them overlap. You can paint over transfers. You can stencil over transfers. Very versatile. And just remember, you have to have a clean, dry, oil and wax-free surface. So don't lotion your hands before you start and touch the block and then transfer the oils. Okay, optical illusion. I thought I was missing the tip on there, but it was just an optical illusion. What are you working on today? How are you taking it easy today, Miss Bonnie? Making sure I wasn't missing anything. And if you want to, you can do the spring darker. If you want it in a darker color than that light white. I'm okay with it being light colored. Well, like I said, I like the distressed look. And it blends with the white on the piece itself. Miss Bonnie, did you get a notification or did you see it on Facebook? They've changed something and I cannot do events like I normally do. So I was just wondering if you were able to see it on Facebook or if it notified you. See if I'm talented enough to tie this back up and tie it in a bow. I gotta do it upside down. I have better luck this way. You almost need 3 hands because I don't want that bottom string to loosen up. I'll work on the bow. Let's get to something else. I'll get that bow right. Let's work on this one. All I'm going to do is we're just going to add the watering can. Dust the bottom of the watering can. We are not going to add the flowers. And we will add these flowers in there. And I'm thinking I might I am going to add the flowers first. And this is what I'm going to do. I am going to make a mark right here. I made a light little mark to where the watering can sits. I'm going to add the flowers. Then I'm put the watering can over top. And these tulips are just gorgeous. You can also use the back side of your scraper on transfers. That is just so strange. I don't know why it is not posted, because before I was able to create an event. Now I just post it and then it says, do you want to create an event? And I say yes. So I don't know how it is pushing it out, because my last couple of lives, I haven't had many people on live because they didn't know that I was live, which makes no sense. I'm hoping they'll get done with all the updates soon. But thank you for hopping on, and thank you for all of you watching on the replay. And I'm excited about our Easter carrot kit. I've had a difficult time sourcing one of the napkins, but I finally got everything. I'm waiting on one set of napkins to come in. I just ordered them this morning. I found them. I'd ordered them, but it was the wrong size. So I had to, apparently I didn't pay attention. So I had to order them again in the right size. And I had a hard time finding the cocktail size napkins. And I will have some extra napkins available for sale. I'm going to make like a little bundle. So if anybody is interested in some cute little napkins. That looks so good with that background. And like I said, these three will coordinate with one another. I was trying to make sure I've got this watering can on here pretty straight. I'm going to double over a piece of tape and stick under the corner right here. And that way it will stay put. I'm going to use the zinc. I appreciate that, Miss Bonnie. I truly do. I just think it's strange, but that's, you know, it happens. And some people might not have power. That's possible. I'm going to use my 1/2-inch brush. It's like the Lord says, where 2 or 3 are gathered, there he'll be. So we are here, and he is with us. Ain't that right? And that's what's good about the replay. If you didn't have a chance to watch, you can always catch the replay. I'm going to use a little backer board to mask that off when I get to that part. So I'm going to turn it this way. And very lightly. Got our watering can on here. I could have taped it off, but this works just as well. But this way you see that you can use the transfers with the stencils in a different way. I have to turn this for just a second. I've got a little space right there that I need to cover up. I have a little bit more paint. A rustic little watering can. Take a peek. Okay, we will fix that up because now it looks like it doesn't have a back. But we got this. I'm going to use a small brush. Oh my gosh. I know how those low blood sugars are. Oh my gosh. Prayer for her. Mm-mm-mm. I'm not making this inside as dark as the outside. And I'm just adding a little bit of gray in here so that it looks like that watering can goes all the way to the back. And I'm just picking up the slightest little paint. Looks pretty good. Oh my gosh. Oh, bless her heart. Yep. I'm familiar with that. It is so scary, but that's an easy fix. I like that. I think that looks good. What do you think about the inside of the watering can? I think that turned out pretty good. I think I might come back with a little bit of white and fix that corner right there, but we're going to do that here later. And now we have this beautiful little block. Oh my gosh, I just can't even imagine. And all we're going to add is this. Hey, Maggie. We are just creating some spring tulip, tea tray, shelf sitter, repurposed, recycled items. And they all coordinate with one another. And that's why I picked the yellow, the white, and the purple on that one, because it matches with these colors right here. And to this one, I'm going to add some crackle to the edges to give it a little bit more interest. And these are adhering so easily on these little blocks because they are completely dry. They are oil-free. Oop, there we go. And now these are absolutely beautiful. The colors, the details, I just love those. You know, your spring messengers, that's what I call them. I can't remember where we were in Germany, but they had fields and fields of tulips, but they had planted them in designs, you know, like quilt blocks almost. And that was so stunning. But I cannot remember where that was because I was young. It might have been when I went to the flower show. They always have like a big flower show. It might have been when we went there, but I cannot remember the name of the show or where it was, but it was very impressive. Very stunning. See, and just like that, we have this one done. And I was going to add a little bit of this crackle paste to it on the edges. I know I had a, there it is. I know I had a little putty knife. We're just giving it a little bit of interest with this crackle. I'm putting it on fairly thin. going to do a very small smidge on the sides here. And I hope that this will crackle pretty good. It's always the hope. I'm going to have to add a little bit on the bottom. Everything is encircled. I'm going to have to add a little bit to the bottom. Now just let this dry and hopefully it will crackle the way I envision it. And then we add a little bit of color on the top. I'm probably going to use that dark gray to add to the top, or I might use white since everything else has white on it. Oh my goodness. I am challenged today, ladies. I don't know what on earth is going on. And that's dry enough so I can sand that off. And we'll let that dry on its own for just a moment. Go add some dark to the edges right here and darken it up a little bit. And I'll show you, this was a recycled piece and that was a recycled piece. It came from Hobby Lobby. I got it when they were on sale. And I added a little bit more paint to my brush. They were either on sale or clearance. And sometimes I get things in like a lot from other people. And I like to frame things out. It just makes it look better to me. I emphasize the corners. I just think it gives it just a little bit of extra. Hey, Miss Deb. Oh, thank you for the stars. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I am going to frame it out in the dark. And excuse the bow. I have to retie that thing. That is just not up to par for me. It needs to be the right side up. So I am going to have to retie that thing. And then we frame that one in. I'm adding a little bit of gray to the back. to make it all coherent. I didn't sand that up yet. Minus the bow. I'll fix that, I promise. And then there's this one. Going to add some crackle to that one too. I will fix this corner right here. I want it to be a little bit better. Let me dry this one up and see if we can get it to crackle. 9 degrees and snow. Oh, they do look inviting. Hey, Deb. And I will show you in just a second where these came from. I'm just trying to hasten up the crackle up here. I kind of like the way that looks. It looks like it is in a like an outside brick wall. Not brick, like cement. And that somebody just took and added these flowers to it. It dries clearer than that, but it has that little bit of texture to it, and I like that. So, since we framed everything in the dark gray, I think we'll just do this one in the dark gray too. I'm adding a little bit more paint to my brush. And let the magic happen. I thought that looked cool. And I'm literally just dancing this brush over top of that crackle. And I'll show you in just a second the crackle that I've used. Mine is almost out. Isn't that cool? I just love the way it looks. This looks a lot darker on the, let's see. Maybe it's this side that needs a little bit more. There, that's better. When I looked in the camera, it looked different. Look at all that detail on there. This is the crackle I used, distressed crackle paste. And this block right here started out like that. And I sanded this off, and then I realized that it was paper. So it took me a minute to get that paper completely off. And that's what it looks like now. And I don't know if that gray will stick to this surface or not, but well, we can see to blend this in with the others. That way it's not a stark white. Because you know me, I like things to match up. Now they all match. And this block, it had a logo on the bottom, so I sanded that off as well. It had words right here. I sanded those words off, and then we added the spring, the tulips, and then this one was just a regular pine block from Michael's. And instead of using the flowers that came with it, we just added the tulips. And I'm gonna have to fix that one part right there. It bothers me. All right, let me pick some names to go into our Happy Mail bucket. I just have to fix this. Looks better already. That little spot made a big difference. And Miss Maggie, I gotta send out your Happy Mail. I love that stencil too with the watering can. I love the teacup. I think the teacup is really cute. But see, now you can display these together, and they're all a little bit different. That one has the crackle, that one has the jute, and that one is just framed out. Yes, it is a complete transformation. It's 13 in Colorado. It's going to be in the 40s here today, but yesterday we didn't get out of the 40s, and it's been close to freezing overnight. Hey, Cheryl, I didn't even see you hop on. And Miss Bonnie is going in the Happy Mail bucket. If I find my pencil. And I'll pray for all of your safety. I know Alabama had tornadoes. I have not heard or seen pictures on how things look, what happened. I just know that they had bad tornadoes overnight. And then, of course, the ice and storm in the Northeast. You're very welcome, my dear. And don't forget our carrot kit. I will invoice at the end of the month, and that will go out at the end of the month. I'm just waiting on one more napkin shipment to come in, and then I got everything ready for those. So if anybody's interested in the carrot kit, I'm trying to position this so you can see these. Let me know. And if you're not familiar, well, hello, Miss Sherry. If you're not familiar with what I am talking about, I'm talking about these carrots. We created the other day, but we will do another live in a private group so that we can do these. These were made with napkins. And you will get the napkins, the fabric, the greenery, all of this stuff. I'm going to try to find some buttons. It will not be the same ones. It will be different buttons. And you just have to do the paint and the crackle. I will not put any paint in there, but you'll get the jute. You'll get the, yeah, that stuff. The straw. What is that called? I can think of it. And then the back, you will not get the stencils. You can either put another napkin on the back or use your own stencils, but you will get the wood shapes, you will get all the greenery, you will get all the fabric, you will get the jute, the napkins. There's 3 different napkins you'll be getting. And the kit is $14 plus shipping, and it can be displayed in many, many, many different ways. So if you're interested, let me know, because I'm getting everything ready to invoice and ship out. And thanks to those that have already placed their orders. And look how cute they are. I just love the colors. And this little guy has given me a run for my money trying to find that napkin. But I wanted you to have the same napkins, so I finally found him. You sure you have buttons? Well, if I'm going to do a kit, I'm going to try to. And you don't have to use those buttons. You can use your own buttons. But if I'm going to send out a kit, I want to make sure everything is in there. All right, ladies, you have a blessed afternoon or blessed day. A safe and happy and wonderful Valentine's Day tomorrow. We're going to go on a Valentine's date with Bristol and her parents. We're going to go to Outback, and we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day together. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be so much fun. And you guys, enjoy your Valentines. Get pampered, get loved. And I'll send all my love to you, my hugs. And I appreciate you guys so, so much. Be blessed. Have a great weekend. And I'll see some of you on Soulfilled Saturday, on Saturday morning. Looking forward to it. Be blessed. See you later. Bye-bye.